What is up, y'all? It is Jerry from Team Unco Studios, back once again with another MPC Beats very basic tutorial for you all using the MPC Beats software. All right, I know we've had a little bit of a break here. We're back to trying to make some more MPC Beats very basic tutorial videos, okay? As some of my followers don't know, outside of us making videos and stuff, we do a lot of other things. We're mixing engineers and we do stuff in the recording studio for clients. But if you notice, I'm in a little bit of a different setup here. We found something here on the property that kind of makes it easy to just keep a camera up and I can come in and just start making videos, without kind of having to have different areas and spots like wherever I happen to be in my house or whatever, or down at the recording studio or whatever, So we kind of set up a little section and area here on the property where I can be able to hopefully come in and make videos at any hour of the day. Okay, so today's video, we're going to start going over something that doesn't really have, again, a lot to do with making music per se, but it has a lot to do with file management and managing where your music is going, where your programs are going, maybe your MIDI sequences and all of that, and how to basically save each one of those individually and stay nice and organized. All right. So let's go ahead and jump right into this video. Okay. So if you pop down to my screen here, you'll see this is just kind of my desktop here that I have on my laptop. And I'm going to go ahead and go to open a new folder. So if you just right click, obviously you can open a new folder, right? So I've already got one opened here and I've labeled it my MPC project. Okay. So just open a new folder, and label it whatever you want to label it. Okay. So once you've got that labeled, go ahead and open up a MPC Beats page. I've already got one opened here. Obviously, as you can see, I've already got a sequence inside of this, kind of little project here. All right. So I'm just trying to do it to save some time. The quickest way you could do it is just to go to your file browser here, right? This is your expansion pack browser where you can browse all your different expansions kind of in this drop down menu form here, okay? So all I did was I went to just one of these and then I just went to where it says sequence here. And if you notice, it's giving me all these options. I'll just go to Chill Trap and you see this little icon here. I'll zoom in there. Can you see that little guy? That right there means that it's a sequence, that you're going to drag this over and it's going to give you all this MIDI information and everything already. You're not going to have to make anything, okay? It'll already give you a song that's already made with a certain program, all right? That's what I've done in this case here, okay? Is I've just brought over a sequence from wherever it was and just dropped it in here and this is what it gave me. So, okay? All right? So, gave me this sequence and it gave it to me with this kit, okay, with this little program, which is the Hip Hop Kits Cypher 95 BPM, okay? And that's all good. These sequences are really good for creating, if you're trying to come up with something and you don't know really what to come up with, sequences are a really great way for you to begin with something. Maybe you just begin with just the snare, right? And you can mute any of these out and solo them out, right? You can just solo this and say, ooh, I like that. I just want to use just that section, right? And we'll go over in another video kind of how you can find those and bring those out, maybe a part 2 of this video, okay? And so, but that's the cool part about sequences is it gives you the opportunity to have some inspiration, okay? So, but we're not doing that today or messing around with the making of the music. What I want to do is I want to figure out how to get all of this information out individually. So let's say, for instance, I don't want to save the whole song. Like I don't want to make an MP3, right? I'm not trying to send it to somebody. I just want this sequence. Now, why would I want just the sequence, the MIDI information, these little blocks, right? Why would that make a difference in anything? Well, the reason why is because this pattern here plays a specific thing to whatever you're putting in on these pads, right? So if I go to my programs and I put in one of my programs to this, you'll notice the song is completely different. See, I've programmed these little programs here and these pads to be triggered by this stuff with different sounds on them, okay? So that was that song. Let's go ahead and go back to the Cypher, okay? So now here's this, okay? That might be somebody else's kit, right? That is playing to this sequence, all right? So that's the difference between a sequence and a program, okay? The program is what is, when the MIDI triggers the program, what is on that program is what will play. For instance, if you notice on this program here, I've got bass, right there. That's the sound on this pad, A15, okay? That is what that sound is, all right? So sometimes people want just the sequence and sometimes they want just the program, right? Other times they want the whole thing all together. So we're gonna figure out how to do that and how to get things on and off seamlessly by using what is called our file browser, all right? So again, if you go and take a look down at the bottom of your right side of your screen, you'll notice where I'm circling here, there's these 3 different ways of looking at your expansions and kind of your browser over here, okay? The first one is your media browser. Now, we've used the media browser before in one of the last couple of videos I made when we were building a kit, right? This is a great way of just looking at your library and trying to find specific things. Like if I want to find a melodic, right? Here's all my melodics now in my expansion, right? It's just a quicker way to kind of find them in your library without having to use go through every single pack and find what you want, okay? You can do that too as well, though, if you would like, okay? So that's what this one is, all right? So that's how our media browser works. The next one is our expansion browser, which if you already kind of know what you're doing, you can just pop this down, say, boom, I know I want this project, boom, this sequence, That's also another way that you can do it. You can just use it where it's this kind of fold down and you collapse the different folders. If you see, I can open up my programs here, open up which program, and there's my kits. You guys get the idea, okay? So we're going to use the very last one, which if you go to that last one, this is our file browser, okay? This is where everything on our desktop here and just basically the computer in general, our hard drive, is connected to our MPC Beats program. All right. So what we want to do right now is we want to get our sequence, our program, and then let's say an MP3 of all of this off and separated into a file. All right. So where are we going to put that? We can put it wherever we want. We could just tell it to put it wherever we want when we save it. Right. Right now, I think it's defaulted to save it under your documents in MPC Beats folder, right? The MPC Beat folder under your documents, that's where it would go, right? And we're going to change that right now when we start saving things. And we are going to add it to our little folder that we made right here called My MPC Beats Project. That's on our desktop, okay? I know I'm moving a little bit fast, but you'll get the idea right now when we go through it, okay? So the first thing I'm gonna do is when I come to my file browser here, if this is open and has any kind of language like this on it or whatever, all you have to do is come up to this little arrow here and hit all the way back on that arrow until you see this menu here, okay? Once you get here, we're gonna go to user, and under your user should be your name of whatever your laptop or your Mac Mini or whatever you happen to be using is under, okay? So my laptop is obviously under Team Uncoordinated, so I'm gonna double tap it. And now I have access to all the stuff on my computer, my desktop, my documents, my downloads, all of that stuff now is here in my browser window on MPC Beats, okay? So what I wanna do is I wanna go to my desktop here and I wanna see where my project is there. So there's my project folder here, okay? So we're gonna be pulling stuff into this right now, okay? Now, if I go back here to my projects and I open it, you'll notice I've already got programs separated out here, right? So I've got a folder here for programs, right? I've got another one for sequence, right? And whoops. And then I've also got another one for song for like MP3s, okay? So let's go ahead and close that. And the first thing that we're gonna do is we are going to, let's go ahead and let's save the program. Okay, so we're gonna save this program right now, okay? I'm gonna save this program. And the way I'm gonna do it is I'm gonna save current program, it says right there, okay? So once I go to save current program, this little thing that you have seen where the save box is, right, pops up. What I'm gonna do first, the first thing I'm gonna do, thing number 1, is I'm gonna change this window to where I am sending it, right here, okay? So I'm gonna go to this window and I'm gonna say I wanna go to my desktop and I want it to go to my project, open that up, and where are we sending this, right? The program. So open that program folder and now this is where it's going, okay? And then what we're gonna do is I'm gonna hit say, actually, I'm sorry. So that's what I've got there for this program, right? Now, under my programs folder, I'm gonna open a new folder that says Cypher. S-I-P-H, Cypher, and then kit, right? And then I'm gonna say do it. And now I'm gonna go and I'm gonna hit save. And now this program here is going to save in that folder in another folder called Cypher Kit. So save, boom. Now, if I come out of here, okay, and I go to my projects, MPC projects, and I go into my program, there's my Cypher Kit. There's all my wave information there for this guy right here, okay? So now let's go ahead and close that again. Let's reopen here. And now I wanna save just the sequence here. I'm just saving just these little blocks. I'm not saving anything else with it, okay? So I'm gonna go to my file. Here again, I'm gonna go save current sequence. And again, I'm gonna come right to this guy first and foremost. I'm gonna go to my desktop, okay? I'm gonna go again to my projects folder, and there's my sequence, okay? And now let's go ahead and say that I wanna go ahead and start a new folder here, and I'm gonna call this Cypher Sequence, S-E-Q, we'll just abbreviate for now, okay? Hit do it, and now it's gonna save in a Cypher Sequence folder, right? I've got this hip hop Cypher, and you'll see right here where it says SXQ, that's meaning that it's saving the sequence, okay? So let's go ahead and hit save, all right? And again, drop this down, come here. So you come down here and boom, you see, there it is, sequence. There's my sequence, boom, there it is saved right there, okay? Now, once I got that, now let's go ahead and let's get an MP3, okay? So let's get now an MP3 of this, right? So let's close this. This is my thing here, right? So it's a little bit short, okay? So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to my file here, and I'm gonna actually go, sorry, I'm on the wrong one. I'm gonna go to edit, I'm gonna go to my sequence, and I'm gonna double the length, and then now I'm gonna do it again, edit, sequence, double the length, okay? And now I've got like 16 bars here, okay? So the quickest way to do this where it just sounds a little bit different and there's some kind of different things going on in your song is just by taking sections of this out, right? So what I like to do is just kind of take this section out here. Let's take this section out. I don't know. We're just making this up as we go along, okay? Take this section out and let's take, I don't know, this section down here up, okay? So now this is what we've got. Okay, we'll take this section maybe to here. See, so we've got like something a little different going on here, right? It's just like it's kind of a little mix up of something there, right? So let's go ahead and say, yes, this is what we want, right? Let's go to our file. Let's go to save this project because we want to make sure to save what we've done here now, right? So that it'll pick this up, okay? So let's go ahead and say, go back to now our file here, okay? And now we're gonna go to, instead of here, these guys, we're gonna go to our export, and then we're gonna go to export as an audio mixdown, and we're gonna change this guy to MP3. Okay, it's telling us you got 1 bar in, kind of like a little tail out, 16 bars, it's stereo, that all looks good. We're gonna say, let's go ahead, actually let's make it a 320 bit rate. It's just a better bit rate, it sounds a little better. Okay, let's go ahead and go to export. Once again, we are going to come here and we are going to change this to my project, MPC project page. We're gonna go to songs and we're gonna go to new folder, and let's just go to, since we're naming everything this, Cypher song, okay, and then let's go do it. All right, and now we've got it under a project. The file is gonna be called project, which is fine, okay, and let's go ahead and go save. And boom, now if we come back here, my Cypher song, boom, right there, and here it is, whoops, being played. So there's that, okay? And you'll notice now I have them all saved right here within inside of this little folder that I got here now. I got my program kit there, boom, and I've got my sequence, boom, here, okay? So now that I've got those done and open, where do I go to get these back in here, right? So let's go to my projects here. So let's go to new project, right? So now I've got a new project open. Let's say I just want to bring the sequence back in, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna go to my MPC project, right? And I'm gonna go to sequence and I'm gonna open up my cipher sequence, and if I drag that over, bam, there we are. Now I can go to any expansion I want. Let's say I go to this guy here, okay? Let's just say this Credo kit. Boom, now that sequence will play to this program. And there it is, you guys. That's exactly how it's done, all right? Not anything super duper hard. You know, you just gotta kind of follow the steps, kind of go back and forth, take a couple of, you know, seconds to see what works and how it works and all of that. And you should be able to transfer files back and forth like pretty seamlessly, all right? I will make a part 2 to this video and just kind of go over a couple of things that I missed here and there. That might be in a minute. I do have some other videos that people are asking for, especially about stem separation and about using the sampler and EQing and mixing and all kinds of stuff, you guys. So hopefully you guys liked this video. I've got a new spot here that I'm hoping to make more videos for you all. All right, so peace and so much love from all of us at Team Unco Studios, and we will catch you all on the next video. All right, later.